Lockdown, take 2. Here we go. And I want to know, which one of the 4 are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Neil and Hayley from Parallel Coaching.
How are we doing?
How are we doing? Our phone's been buzzing for the last
24th
Saturday
evening.
What can I do? How does this affect me? So that's what we're talking about today. Drop a message below, say good morning. And also, if you have any particular questions relating to lockdown, any particular thoughts, panics, worries,
drop them below. So a lot of people reached out yesterday on email, on Messenger, on our direct messages, on all social platforms going, guys, help, what do I do? How does this work? Can I do this? Can I do that? And generally on a Sunday, we down tools. So most of our social media is scheduled so that Hayley and I can literally switch off from the world and kind of do our own thing, which gives us our little bit of sanity and recharge ready for the week.
Yes. So we can go full in on the week.
Yeah, so we didn't really air any thoughts or opinions. We did get back to lots of people yesterday. We got back to everybody on Messenger, but we didn't publicly kind of like air our thoughts and opinions, which I think a lot of you were expecting. So first off, let's add a little apology. Here it is.
And also, before I say good morning to everybody that are on here, I just also want to say thank you to those that reached out.
This is cool, actually,
and said, like, I know you guys are in business, just want to let you know we're with you.
Completely, because
I know it's tough times.
Because at the end of the day, obviously we're on here and you see us, it's one big parallel tribe. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Parallel's been brought to a bit of a standing halt, for a better word. Obviously, we got all our online stuff, but we had so many classroom days still yet to go. So we've actually ended up postponing, I think that's the better word. That's the better word. Postponing 6 courses. So the impact on learners is pretty big. So it's up to us, Hayley and I, and the Parallel team to...
We'd actually preempted...
I'm going to sneeze.
We'd actually preempted some postponement before the announcement. So last week we postponed our kids course, our suspension, our kettlebell course for November. So they were postponed.
We kind of guessed that this lockdown was coming. It was pretty imminent. I think everybody kind of thought that.
Everybody kind of knew. So anyway, we still got some other things to tidy up in terms of some of our other qualifications. So if you're one of ours on our level 3 PT, then please don't worry. You will hear from us today.
Yes, you're going to get a decent email from us today if you're on any of our courses. So
we've got a good plan for you.
There's 4 types of people I want to talk about on lockdown, okay?
Before you do, I want to say good morning to everyone.
Here we go.
Is that all right?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Right, so we've got Paula, we've got Nikki, Karina, Mark, Andy,
Mr. Merrick,
Barbara, Archie.
If you haven't commented already, we've got loads of people on here. Just drop a good morning. Just drop a good morning.
Andy, awesome. Right.
Let's drop a good morning and spread the Parallel Tribe message and let more people know. So
good
here's the first kind of take on the news that big old Bojo Boris Johnson delivered on Saturday night. So the fitness industry at the moment, as we know it, is coming to a bit of a standstill, right? Gyms are closing, private studios are closing, non-essential businesses is closing. But we don't find out until Wednesday, the final details. So something my coach always reminds me of is, what are the facts versus what are the fantasies? So the facts are, right now, we know that the fitness industry and non-essential businesses are coming to a grinding halt for Thursday, right through till December 2nd.
Yes.
But we don't know all of the facts until Wednesday of what that actually means and looks like. So my first point is, and it's easier said than done, don't worry, don't panic, okay? Think about how much more value can you add to your clients, to your learning in the next couple of days between now and Wednesday.
And also some things that you know now that aren't going to happen. So like, your group classes aren't going to happen. You know that...
But we know of.
That we know of. Inside sessions probably aren't going to happen. You're not going to be inviting people to your home to train. That type of thing isn't going to happen. You probably know that you can account for that not happening.
Like, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, exactly. There's some little grey areas, like the can I do one-to-one outside question, which I think will be clarified much more detailed on Wednesday.
Yes. And
then from there, you can then make the decision moving forward. If you're not sure, get some of your one-to-ones out the way over the next few days.
Completely. So the big thing we've heard is you can meet one other person from another household. Okay, so from a one-to-one perspective, could that be one-to-one? It's a big grey area. I think it comes down to two key facts that we need to find out more information. One, Wednesday, there be clearer guidance.
Yeah.
And secondly, are you insured? At the end of the day, are you insured? So the final point would be, what does your insurance company say? So if you're with FitPro, contact FitPro. If you're with Insure for Sport, contact Insure for Sport. But I think it comes
by Wednesday, Thursday time.
It comes of no surprise, this second lockdown. It comes of no surprise.
This is what I like actually about the second lockdown. There's not much to like about
There's not much to like.
But what I really like about this is you've done it before. So you now know what you did last time. You know how to respond this time based on the evidence you had from last time.
Yes.
So you might turn around from
this
last
is golden.
time.
This is golden.
And go, right, my evidence I had last time was that really I just laid in the sun too long. Or that's not going to happen.
Hayley's speaking from the truth.
Or my evidence last time was that I didn't do much work, or that I didn't pull my finger out and go online early enough for my clients.
Yes.
You might have had these little lessons from last lockdown that will teach you how to now perform better this lockdown. That could even be down to how many loo rolls you stock up on, to be honest. You might go, I didn't really need that many.
So it's a case, it's a nice, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction.
Lovely.
Life's doing this all the time. So when we come out of this lockdown, we know pretty much it's guaranteed there's going to be some stricter measures, maybe with inside a tier system throughout December. Okay? How we work with our clients going forward is going to be challenging. And we could almost predict that 2021 is going to be equally as challenging. So rather than react and panic and worry, my question or first question I have for you today is, what do you need to do and who do you need to become in order to start responding to the measures going forwards? Because we can't get to another lockdown, lockdown 3 or lockdown 4, and react again as if it's not happened before. We've been through it and we're back in it again. The question is how are we going to respond, and what are we going to do as a team to help each other, support each other, continue learning, but more so, how are you going to go on and support and respond with your clients? Because there's no need for anyone to lose out on clients. Nothing's changed other than the fact we can't mix. We can't socially mix. Yes. Nothing's changed.
Your objectives, your goals for 2020 don't need to change.
Nothing's changed.
Just how you go and do that might. There's
your
some things in your
clients'
control.
goals haven't changed. They might have gone up and down a priority ladder or a value ladder, but they're still there. So it's up to us to find ways and respond accordingly, which leads us to today's real conversation.
And I
want to know which one of these 4 are you. So on Sunday, yesterday and Saturday night, me and Hayley were thinking about everything that's happened from really March onwards. So lockdown number 1, all the way to when gyms opened, I believe on July 25th. We've had, 3.5, 4 months since then, and now we're in lockdown number 2. And we came up with 4 different types of people that were inside lockdown number 1. Different types of
All
FitPros.
FitPros, and I want to know which one you were, but also which one you're going to be this time.
So now there's 2 more questions. Which one were you out of these 4 types of FitPros? And which one do you choose to be going forward? So the first type of FitPro is SeizeTheDay FitPro. So
starting off at number 1. I wanted to start at number 4.
Okay, let's start off at number 4 then. So number 4
is the victim.
The victim.
Now the victim is somebody that sticks their head in the sand and blames somebody else for the fact that their outcome isn't happening. Now there is a lot that is not in our control, but there is a huge amount, probably more, that is in our control in terms of how we respond to the new situation. So the victim number 4, this number 4 person, is the one that has literally gone, it's okay, I'm going to put my head in the sand, I'm going to blame someone else for the fact that I haven't got the result I wanted this year or this lockdown.
And following on from the victim from lockdown 1 was that person that didn't seize the day, which is person number 1, okay? And what I mean by that is they kept the same barriers and hurdles in place rather than challenge their barriers and hurdles. So they were reluctant to say pivot and go online, reluctant to say do face to camera, reluctant to start putting themselves out on social media more, because obviously you're not out and about, you're not walking the gym floor or not able to meet people. So the main stream of marketing and getting yourself out there was social media. And so the victim person coming out of lockdown number 1 during the summer really just didn't take action and allowed themselves to revel in it's somebody else's fault, and went along with the lockdown train of gym should be open, this should be open, that should be doing this isn't right. And really,
and out of our tribe of people on here, I don't think there's many people that were a number 4, and I don't think there's many people that will be on this next one either. However, so, number 3...
person number 3 for FitPro number 3 is...
the if only regretter.
The if only regretter.
So this is where you got
the victim, number 4, or number 3, the if only regretter?
So you know you're the if only regretter if you got to the end and you were like, oh, if only I'd gone online. If only I'd started doing a live video. If only I'd started doing something.
So lockdown number 1 teed up many opportunities for FitPros to, first off, get going, kickstart, and really the level playing field of the fitness industry was just flattened. It didn't matter whether you were brand new to the fitness industry or whether you were, like Hayley and I, we've been doing it for 15 odd years, okay? We're all on the same level playing field. No one's ever experienced lockdown before. So the first time in the fitness industry's world was history, we were brought down to our knees and it was a level playing field. And it was that if only I'd got started, if only I'd gone online, if only I found a different way to support my clients, if only I carried on learning, if only I managed to read those books I said I was going to do, if only I did all the research around planning, if only I learnt my anatomy and physiology, if only, and it got to the end of lockdown. And I'm going to say there was a number of people that come July, they were like, I kind of should have done more.
The biggest one for this was the starting of, say, qualifications or the starting of courses or learning, and they go, if only I'd set aside an hour of my now very freed up day to learn, I actually could have completed all of this.
But also the amount of people that were already qualified and they went, if only I'd have learned about marketing, if only I'd have learned a little bit about copywriting, if only I'd learned a little bit about understanding face to camera, if only I'd challenged my own fear and beliefs around face to camera work and gone live, if only I'd started my Instagram, if only I'd started blogging, if only. And I'll be honest, there was a lot of if onlys. I had a lot of conversations with, I'm going to say, hundreds of people throughout July, August and September where they fitted the number 3, the if only. So first off, where you are right now, we're seeing some hearts and some thumbs up and emojis. I want you to litter the screen, if you're listening, with as many thumbs up and heart emojis as possible, and we will move into number 2. So this is FitPro number 2. So FitPro number 4 was the victim. FitPro number 3 was the if only regretter, and FitPro number 2
is the day late dollar short.
The day late dollar short. Are you the day late dollar short, dude?
So this is somebody that took massive action last lockdown and actually managed to get their online things uploaded. They managed to get started on some qualifications or actually do some learning and make some headway, but they were a bit late to the party, so they were a day late to it, basically.
A day late and a dollar short.
They took a while to get going, which means they didn't really get the full outcome. They didn't really get the money back from their fitness, different way of doing their fitness instructing or PTing. Getting distracted by all these lovely emojis.
Completely. So the day late dollar short is the person that hit lockdown number 1 on March 23rd or whatever day it was, and then they didn't really start until maybe the end of April. Okay, and there was this shift where they went, do you know what, I should really be using today, which leads us into FitPro number 1, which is SeizeTheDay.
SeizeTheDay FitPro. This FitPro. Neil, do you want to go for it?
I've got one person in mind.
Oh, have you?
I've got one person in mind, and I will name them because I think they are the SeizeTheDay picture that I have in my...
SeizeTheDay.
The SeizeTheDay. And her name is Jo Asplin.
Yeah,
Okay,
nice. She
okay.
wasn't a day late dollar short.
She wasn't a day late dollar short.
Definitely wasn't.
Now, there was lots of people that were day late dollar shorts, and there was lots of people that were SeizeTheDay, and I could have recalled a number of people. But I'm going to say about Jo Asplin. So Jo is one of our parallel coaches. She's done a number of courses with us. But Jo was working in a club in Bracknell, okay? So she was on the gym floor. She had a number of one-to-one clients, loads of semi-private clients. She did loads of classes.
Both
and
fitness, Pilates,
literally,
and other types of
in the
classes.
space of about a day, maybe a couple of days, she pivoted and went completely online to the point she built up throughout lockdown more of a client base. She ended up with more clients and more revenue at the end of lockdown than she did at the beginning.
Which is amazing.
She then, after lockdown, took them outside and had this hybrid model. But more so, what Jo did is she broke that fear of her own major anxieties of going online and doing face to camera.
And
she
who would want to train with me?
Absolutely loves it. She really worried about, would she be able to pick up clients? Would she be able to, she wouldn't be on the gym floor, walking the gym floor and seeing people. And at the end of lockdown, it was about early August, she did about 3 or 4 days back in the gym, and she phoned Hayley in, I'm going to be honest, in tears of like, I don't enjoy this. And so she left her job. And she is completely online.
Which means now for this lockdown, she's sorted.
And I've seen the content she put out over the
great.
Halloween weekend. It was fantastic. And Jo's skills of not just going online with video editing, but her ability to write, her ability to carve a headline, a sub-headline, and communicate online has just gone from zero to hero. And this is the SeizeTheDay person. Like, the SeizeTheDay person doesn't get it to start off with. You don't know what you're doing, and that's okay. The SeizeTheDay person genuinely doesn't know how to do it. But the SeizeTheDay person wants to do it still.
Yeah.
So they know why they want it, but the SeizeTheDay person, FitPro number 1, doesn't know all the hows, and that's okay.
They learn it. And they start off, it's not like they've been given all these hows in like this perfect little gift box to just now go and amazingly be perfect at doing stuff online. They've gone, I'm not perfect, but this is actually an opportunity for me to be able to turn some things around and build a fitness business that will last through any kind of storm, any kind of winter. And I'm going to do that now. And that's what I love about that SeizeTheDay.
So we've got 4 types of people. We want to know, during lockdown number 1, okay, during March, April, May, June, July, were you FitPro number 1, SeizeTheDay? Were you FitPro number 2, day late, dollar short? Be really honest. Were you FitPro number 3, the if only regretter? Or were you FitPro number 4, the victim?
So what were you?
And who do you want to be coming into this lockdown? Like, it's going to be incredibly easy to sit here over the next couple of days and worry about what the news is on Wednesday. It's going to be really easy to procrastinate, get wound up, get frustrated, and not take any action. It entirely comes down to, I believe, a dichotomy of 2 options. 4 options, really, wouldn't it? Which one do you want to be? FitPro 1, 2, 3, or 4? But really, I think it's a dichotomy of, do you want to be FitPro 1 or FitPro 4?
Nice.
Good morning,
and also,
Agnes.
I think for a lot of people, they like the idea of doing something over lockdown and feeling that it will be productive. And 4 weeks that they've given us for lockdown is a really nice goal frame. Knowing it might well be more than that, but 4 weeks is 4 weeks. And they go, cool, that's my goal. What can I get done in 4 weeks? Huge amount. But a lot of people will leave it, same as with revision. They will leave, instead of 4 weeks of work, they'll leave it to the very last week, which is the day late, dollar short. So there will probably be a lot of people that would really like to be a number 1 SeizeTheDay, but because they're not taking action on the first of the days as quickly as they can, they end up leaving it until things feel better or until the deadlines are really tight.
Completely. But 4 weeks is a great deadline. So for the Parallel Camp, obviously we are going to support all of the learners online, okay? But we're not going to replace the attendance days. The attendance days have to happen. So we will take everybody online and bridge that gap until we can go face-to-face back in the classroom.
Which means SeizeTheDay, you just get more.
Which actually, when SeizeTheDay means everybody that's currently enrolled on a course actually gets more than they bargained for, which is great. They get more proximity with us and more proximity with the learning. But what's more, for 4 weeks, we've been promising to get you guys a online squat assessment.
Oh, that's got to come through.
So now we've got plenty of time to make and record and film the squat assessment.
And some other changes that are happening.
We're
across
making some changes in every one of the FitPro revision boot camps. They all update and align with the new syllabus. So we've got 4 weeks to jump into the recording of those. And also the new exercise referral comes out next February. Now I'm going to be the first one to say Parallel Coaching will be the first provider to offer this, because I know every other provider will not be doing the work over the next 4 weeks.
Yes, we've got, as tutors, we've then got to do a learning bridge gap.
Exactly.
So we've actually got to go and learn a load of bits and tick them off and get qualified in it before we can go and teach it.
Exactly.
So it's huge.
And there's an update.
And then we've got to develop it all.
And then we've got to actually develop it, because you don't get anything. So actually, just like the Level 4 Advanced PT, we were the first ones to the market with that, and everyone else followed. And we are going to be, I'm going to say it, I'm not even going to like fingers crossed it, I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We will be there first and foremost at the forefront of exercise referral.
Also, one thing I wanted to say is that Caroline earlier said that she didn't seem to fit last time into any of those. And Caroline, I know that you are a SeizeTheDayer because
you're a SeizeTheDayer,
you've
Caroline.
done your level 4 obesity in 2 weeks of self-isolation.
Like, that is SeizeTheDay. Literally, Caroline phoned up Hayley.
Enrolling on that first day of isolation.
Enrolled on level 4 obesity, and within 2 weeks of self-isolation.
Whilst looking after her husband.
Yeah, whilst looking after her husband. Did the entire level 4, which obviously proves it can be done. And it was incredible standard as well. So let's go back through here. If you are listening, I really want to know what your thoughts and feelings are of this imposed national lockdown. I think, if I'm really honest, my deep down thoughts are we should all be in or all be out. I'll be really open. There's a reason. If we're going to all close down, we all need to close down. So in my opinion, I think schools, universities, everybody should come to a grinding halt. And if the risk is that high, then everybody should come to a grinding halt. And it should be only essential services and amenities.
If not, it's pretty similar to the tier 2, 3 that was kind of existing anyway.
Otherwise, I'll be honest, again, just my opinion, we're going to come out of this to the other side of December. And it will be the same as before. We do the Eat Out to Help Out will become the new Christmas period, and we will be back in lockdown come February or March. So I'm just saying, that's my 2 pence. We should all be all in or all out. And that's what I think is the SeizeTheDayer. The SeizeTheDayer is just, let's go all in. 4 weeks, everybody, bam. Let's not hold back.
Find the opportunity to do the thing that you've been meaning to do as well in that. So rather than turn around and going, I'll hold on as long as I can to my one-to-ones, which then keeps you, say, or groups or whatever you feel you're going to squeeze in and still do, you kind of hold on to it as much as you possibly can, bending rules maybe.
Well,
and
there's
then
so
you
many
get
grey
to a
areas,
point,
right? Let's be honest.
And
There's
then you get
lots
to a
of
point where that's the time you could have done to develop, and it becomes a good reason why you didn't.
There's lots of grey areas. And what I've noticed over the last couple of days, okay, is a discrepancy in people's values. Is that okay to say?
Yeah.
There's a discrepancy in people's values. And what I mean by that is we've got a group of people. And maybe you agree or disagree with the rules. Maybe you agree or disagree with COVID. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because at the end of the day, we're in the UK, which is where you live. These are the rules, right? So it doesn't really matter about what the overarching, whether you like it or not. So you might turn around and go, I really disagree. Yet we all wear face masks when we go into a public building.
Like into a shop or whatever.
Yeah. So we still end up doing things even though we disagree with it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so like, let's say, for example, I hate wearing a mask, I don't see the point in it, and then as a result, I still have to wear one if I want to go in the shop to do what I need to do.
In order to, to go and get food, you still have to comply, right? So the bigger question now is, what I think it comes down to is, we might not agree with the lockdown. We might not agree that gyms are closing. We might not agree that we can't carry on, and we could all agree that fitness is essential. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been doing this for like almost 2 decades. working with people within common clinical conditions. I understand health. I get it. I couldn't be any more of a preacher if I wanted to be around getting fit and healthy. But at the same time, we have to sit back and go, if that's what it is, that's what it is. It's 4 weeks. Anything to add?
They're the rules we got.
They're the rules.
So like we said earlier, there's things you can control and things you can't. Align in your values to know that what you're saying and how you're going to move forward is in line for you and what you believe. And at the same time, you know that there's certain rules we've got to adhere to. So you go, well, as a business, as you as a FitPro, you go, these are my rules I've got to adhere to if I want to operate as a business in this country.
Completely.
It'll be different in a different country, it'll be different in a different place. I know that these first rules are just England, so it'll be different in Wales, different in Scotland. There's huge differences everywhere. But for you, right now, if you're in England, they're your rules. So you go, well, that's my rules, I've got to stick to it. But what can I do within those rules that allows me to still get my goal, my outcome,
without bending the rules?
My 2020 that I wanted, my income that I wanted, but without bending any rules.
My education I wanted. Yeah, exactly. Without bending the rules. Because at the end of the day, if we bend the rules and we find the grey areas to operate within, then we're only going to find ourselves as a nation back in the same position.
It does slap you in the face, doesn't it?
In 3 or 4 months' time. And then in 3 or 4 months' time again. And in 3 or 4 months' time again. So I'm like, I just want to be the number one, as in like SeizeTheDay person. Because for SeizeTheDay, it's just all in. I just go, right, let's go. It doesn't matter about the environment. What can I control? What can I do? So that's my question for you.
I think one thing that's really certain, before you go to your question, one thing that is really, really certain is that this has not only happened once, it's now happening a second time. There will be future disturbances to your business that means it's not going to be exactly how you want it to be, or future disturbances to how you're learning, or future things in terms of your qualifications that will change how it is. So take in control of what you can.
Completely. The question is the same as what I said earlier. You've got 4 different types of FitPro. You've got the number 4, which was the victim.
Yeah.
Number 3 was
if only regretter.
The if only regretter. The second type of FitPro out of lockdown number 1 is the
day late, dollar short.
Day late, dollar short. And then the FitPro number 1
SeizeTheDay.
Is SeizeTheDay. What do you need to do today, tomorrow, and who do you need to become today and tomorrow to keep moving forwards to be the SeizeTheDay? You can be the day late, dollar short still, if you want to be. It can be any one of them. But the question is, what do you need to do and who do you need to become in order to choose one of those 4? Maybe by default, we're all in at number 4. Maybe by default, we're all in at number 3. And we've got to choose to become FitPro number 1, the SeizeTheDay person. It's really easy to stay stuck at FitPro number 4 and play victim.
Yeah.
It's like incredibly easy. It's like default mode for everyone is to play the victim. And it's default mode to be the regretter, okay? And have good intentions, but nothing ever comes of it, okay? You've got to choose to be the day late, dollar short, or you've got to choose and push harder to be the SeizeTheDay.
Yeah.
What do you need to do?
You want out of it.
And who do you need to become in order to be the SeizeTheDayer? And what do you need to do to choose to become the SeizeTheDayer?
I think we've got a lot of SeizeTheDayers in Parallel Tribe.
So if you are going to choose FitPro number 1 and be SeizeTheDay, just write hashtag SeizeTheDay.
SeizeTheDay.
Or STD. No, SeizeTheDay.
I was like, what is this? Yeah, it is.
No,
just write SeizeTheDay.
SeizeTheDay. Don't want to write hashtag STD. Made you laugh though. Guys, let's go back through and say good morning to Laura. Good morning, Colin. David Furno's on here as well.
Awesome.
He's been on a number of our courses. Good morning, Beverly. She says, lots of university students coming home. Some will bring the virus back with them. Masaki is all in. Adapt to the current situations as quickly as possible and make your offer versatile completely. Yes. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Deb. She agrees. Total lockdown needed. Julie says, agree with Neil. Thank you.
One or the other.
One or the other, completely. Why do we need to wait 5 days? Interesting. That is an interesting point as well, Agnes. Good morning. Good morning, Lizette. Mira says, I'm fully qualified, yet so applied FitPro 31 on myself and managed to lose 2.5 stone. How cool is that? So FitPro 31 is our online coaching program that we opened up in May, and Mira joined
Quite
early on, and went on to lose 2.5 stone during lockdown. If there's a lessons to be learnt there, it's phenomenal. Beverly says she's SeizeTheDay.
Woohoo!
Beverly Lard is SeizeTheDay person. Julie says she's not panicking this time.
That's a good lesson for the first time.
That is a good lesson. Not to say that you were a panicker the first time, but you've got your ducks in a row this time, and that's really obvious. What does Deb say?
I'm an if only.
If only. I did reline posting and continued, and I left my job. Exactly. I'm going to say, Deb, you were a SeizeTheDayer.
Although, to start off with, took a moment.
Maybe a day late, dollar short, SeizeTheDay. Yeah. I reckon you were SeizeTheDay. Good morning, Caroline. Joyce says, I was hybrid. I was still busy with a full-time job, exactly, and you were a key worker. I did keep going. I think number 1 and 2 now as have online. Completely. So what's been really interesting is a lot more people, FitPros, have adapted to more of a hybrid online model. Even during kind of like August, September, October, when you could have been outside.
Which now makes it easier to now seize the day now, because you can go, cool, I'll just upload more people into this now.
Exactly. And then Helen Whittle is on our current PT course. So we've done weekend 1 of PT, and weekend 2 was meant to be...
Helen Whittle's not on it.
Not Helen Whittle. I was thinking...
Helen Lukey's.
Helen Lukey's. There we go. Okay, my bad.
Helen's lovely too. Helen
is lovely too, and has also been on our FitPro 31 and Business Startup. So there we go. Good morning. I'm getting confused.
We do have thousands of learners, so you are allowed.
And lots of Helens actually at the moment. So she was saying her IT skills are improving every day, which is really key. So it might only be like real tiny steps forwards, and you might go, actually, it's just my IT skills. I'm able to set something up, or I'm more comfortable with, say, using Canva for my images online, or whatever it might be. They have massive wins.
Yeah.
Good morning, Valeria. Justin gives us a thumbs up.
He's a number 1 every day.
He's a number 1 every day. Sure is, boss. Let's go right down to the bottom of it. So many messages now.
It's amazing. I love it. Love you guys.
Helen Lucas is now on here.
SeizeTheDay.
SeizeTheDay. Lots of people saying SeizeTheDay. Number 1, wicked. Good morning, Neil. Laura says SeizeTheDay.
Great.
So it comes back to that choice, doesn't it? It comes back to that choice about, what do I want to do over the next 4 weeks? Do I want to stay stuck in a victim mindset, in a victim walls that say, it shouldn't be like this, following the news, somebody else is to blame, gyms should be open, gyms are one of the cleanest places to be, it's not fair, it's not right, X, Y, and Z. Like, it's really easy to stay stuck there. And I'll be honest, Hayley and I spent a few hours in that place yesterday. We were like, why does this have to happen? We got so many courses, we got loads, so much to postpone. Like, it is a real shitstorm, let's be honest. But everyone's in the same shitstorm, aren't they? So it's about, what do I need to do and who do I need to become to SeizeTheDay?
Over the next few days, whilst you're waiting for the final sort of rules to settle in place, so you know exactly what it is, when you're planning over the next few days about what you're going to do to SeizeTheDay, I think it's important to put in a couple of different options. You can foresee, like, maybe I won't be able to do any face-to-face, maybe I might be able to do one-to-one. You can kind of foresee a couple of different options, plan out what you want to achieve over the next few days, and then when you get that, like, yep, this is where we're moving forward, you can then go, cool, right, I am ready, because you got your plan in place.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing we promote in revision as well, that you sit down, you plan what you're going to revise, then you do it, and then you review it afterwards.
Yeah, completely.
So that plan, do, review is so important for you as this 4-week goal that you're going to work towards, whether that's learning a new qualification, whether it's just studying something for yourself, like in terms of marketing or progressing.
Completing the qualification you're on.
FitPro business online.
Whatever it is. So in order to do that, what I'm going to ask is to like, comment or share this live stream. And if you know other FitPros, if you're not with Parallel as your main provider, I want you to invite FitPros to the Parallel Coaching Inner Circle, because I genuinely know and believe fact that it is a safe place for FitPros to ask questions, voice their thoughts, feelings and emotions.
Be a bit vulnerable.
And I know deep down and fact again that over the last number of years there's been no bad mouthing, bad comments, there's been no shit in there at all, and it's been amazing for FitPros, certainly when you're new to the fitness industry, to feel supported. So if you know other FitPros that would benefit from the inner circle, point them our way, because I know that we can help as well. So like, comment and share, go and invite people in.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's move forward as a tribe, as a group of fitness professionals, that you could be any one of those four. Like, even if you want to be a victim and stay at number 4, I'm cool with that. Okay? Jump inside the inner circle and own being number 4. If you want to be the day late, dollar short, be the day late, dollar short and own day late, dollar short person, and jump inside the inner circle and let everyone else help you. Okay? That's the key, isn't it? Because it's not about sitting there on your own. It's about moving forwards as a group. So we keep rocking. We only move forwards and we work together to get through the other side of this, which we will do.
Right. Happy November.
Happy November. There we go. What a joyful start to November. Hopefully that was a bit motivational. Hopefully that was enlightening. Hopefully...
And helps you get prepared for lockdown
gets you a bit more prepared. But final thing, just wait until Wednesday. Wait until you've got a bit more clarity of what you can do and what you can't do.
Plan some options now. Get excited. And then on Wednesday, which will only 2 days away, it'll soon be here. At that point, you can go, cool. If that's the case, I'm going with my plan A. Or I'm going with my plan B. Completely.
And I think you've got the final point would be you've got to look at what you're insured to do. Like, Boris isn't going to stand in his little wooden station and say, next slide, please. And next slide comes up. Why hasn't he got a clicker? For Christ's sake, go and get a clicker. Okay.
Next slide.
Next slide, please. And he's not going to say, personal trainers.
You may train people outside one-to-one, but not in your home.
He's not going to say, boot camp people are like this. If you do sports massage, you can do this. He's going to be like generic stuff, isn't it? Like, he's going to address and give you generic information. It's up to us to then go and find the specifics and find out what we can do. Yeah. He's never in a million years going to say, Neil and Hayley from Parallel Coaching, you are allowed to take 6 people into the classroom, but you must have X, Y. Like, it's up to us to respond and look at this in a real educated, entrepreneurial business owner mindset.
And there'll be the detailed industry-specific guidelines that come out on Wednesday as well.
So, next slide, please. We will see you inside the Parallel Coaching Inner Circle.
That's the one.
And if you do have any questions, or you are worried, or you want to ask something very specific but you haven't done on here, we're in the office all day. So please, please, please reach out. We're here to help. And we'll see you on the flip side.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Next slide, please.